Now on NBC 15 Today.
Sir, are you okay?
Some pictures from Nate, now a tropical storm, but it has definitely caused a share of damage. Our crews have been providing wall-to-wall coverage during the height of the storm, getting out in the elements and keeping you safe. And now we are out showing you the damage that then Hurricane Nate has left behind.
Nate made a second landfall as a Category 1 hurricane just after midnight near Biloxi, bringing with it storm surge, which tossed cars and trucks and casino parking decks.
Our team coverage of the storm continues right now. We have crews throughout the area, including Biloxi, Dauphin Island, and Gulf Shores, as well as a crew here in Mobile surveying the damage.
We'll begin in Biloxi, where NBC 15's Nicole Fierro is right now. Nicole, casinos in that area were really hit hard.
It absolutely did. You will not believe what just happened. I just got off the phone with a woman. I was Facebook Living, showing just the damage that the receding water has unveiled. This massive boat, Reliance, you see right here, Jan, you see over here it says Reliance. Well, I was showing this, and a woman whose boat this is, she says this is her home. She was watching my Facebook Live and just told me she couldn't believe it. She said it was docked at a Biloxi marina nearby, and her fiance is out at sea, and she had no idea. And she woke up to see this video, this boat, her boat, just washed up ashore. Now, we just gave her our location, and she says that she's in Orlando. She's 10 hours away, but she's heading here right now. But it's just so shocking to actually put a personal angle on this to see that how this is impacting people. I know that this is the last major hurricane to hit this area was Katrina, and it's just really hit this area hard. We showed you yesterday as our reporter was actually stuck in a parking garage at the Hard Rock Cafe. Now we're showing you this major damage that this big boat, this big sailboat just washed ashore. And you can see I'm getting a little thrown around by the wind. It's still going very strong. So we're not seeing the receding water anymore, but we're still feeling the wind, and we're starting to see the major damage. We see this huge sailboat. We saw major jumpsters spewed across church parking lots. Even on the road, we've seen massive rocks, and we'll be sure to continue to show you just the stories and what has happened after Nate here. But for now, live in Biloxi, Nicole Fierro, NBC 15 News.
Wow, technology reaching out well beyond our Gulf Coast this morning. Take a look at this time-lapse video from the Hard Rock Cafe parking lot in Biloxi, and you can see the water rise and eventually lights come on that vehicle there as it begins to short out. There they go. The water gets so high that the water literally picks up that vehicle, and you can see it start floating and float away.
Wow. Biloxi hit hard there. Dauphin Island is another area that was inundated with floodwaters.
NBC 15's Zora Asbury has been there on and off the island throughout the storm. She's trying to get there right now, but Zora, it looks like soon, hopefully, you'll be able to make it to the island.
That's right, Darwin, Andrea, cleanup crews from Dauphin Island here, and also Aldot are here picking up debris. Take a look at this. They've already been able to clear a great deal of debris off of the road, and we've actually been urged to get off of the Dauphin Island Parkway so we can be out of the way. And joining me right now is Mayor Jeff Collier. Now, Mayor, you have to get your hands dirty. I've seen you reaching down, picking up debris, and moving it off the road. So tell me about the cleanup this morning.
Well, the thing of it is, this is the most important thing we can do right now is to get the road back open, because we got to get supplies in. We need people want to get home. People need to get off the island. So this is priority one right now. And then we've got some other issues to deal with on the island. We had a lot of flooding last night, about 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, as did most of the area. So we've got a lot of cleanup to do. But right now, this is the first thing we need to do is to reconnect us to the mainland.
Now, I know a lot of people were curious about the west portion of the island, and we haven't even been able to assess the damage there.
No, that's right. We haven't got, that's the next place we're going to try to go, but right now I don't think it's accessible, and so we just got to wait till the water recedes so that we can get down there to make an assessment. But again, so right now we're going to focus on what we can do, which is helping the ALDOT folks clear this road so we can get ourselves connected back to the mainland.
Now, ALDOT has been able to clear these roads pretty quickly. I mean, it hasn't taken more than 30 minutes to an hour. When do you expect these roads to be back open?
I would like to think that we may have this open for traffic within the next hour or so. I mean, our people are making good progress. The folks that are here now are Town of Dauphin Island staff. We pre-positioned personnel and equipment so we would be ready for this. And ALDOT is aware of it, and we're working very closely with them as well. So again, our goal, we've got to get this road open as quickly as possible.
Okay, now Mayor Jeff Collier, if you can stand by for a second, we have the anchors that are about to ask us a question about Dauphin Island. So we are here on Dauphin Island. As you guys saw, cleanup crews from ALDOT have been moving debris off of the roads, and that's where we are right now.
Right, and Zora, before you got down to the south part of Mobile County, you were actually in downtown Mobile where Water Street was covered with water. You actually spoke with a driver who was in that vehicle that we see there who became stranded on Water Street. You actually spoke with that driver.
That's right, Andrea. It was definitely a sight to see. I mean, the water was up to my knees. So you could just imagine how high that floodwater was. And the man and his dog were in the car. They are not from here. They're from out of town. And so he really didn't know what to expect when reaching downtown Mobile. And of course, as Mobilians, we know what it gets like whenever we see a big rain event, especially like Hurricane or Tropical Storm Nate. And so that man and his dog were trapped inside of that car. And they were given a couple of options. But what they decided to do is to stay in that vehicle until the water started to recede. And so hopefully that they're seeing some of that right now. But I mean, it does take a couple of hours for that water to recede, sometimes even more than that. So hopefully him and his dog have been able to get out safely. And I've been monitoring, what conditions are here on Dauphin Island as well. And so we're seeing lots of cleanup this morning and just really the after effects of a big hurricane or a tropical storm like we've seen with Hurricane and Tropical Storm Nate.
All right, thank you so much, Zora. Trying to get on the island this morning. We'll check back with her, I'm sure, later today to see if she and when she makes it. She'll make it down there. Right. All right, and we were talking earlier about Water Street, and that is where NBC 15's Megan Gannon is. And Megan, a few moments ago, or a few hours ago, really, actually Zora walked out into that water to talk to that man stranded in his car. He wouldn't get out, but it looks like things have kind of fallen down a little bit there.
Oh, things have drastically changed out here, Darwin. That car that Zora was talking about earlier, it's actually right over there. I see a tow truck over there, so I think they're trying to figure out the situation of getting that man's car towed and to get him to a better location. But he has been there the entire time since we've been out here and since Zora has talked to him as well. But when you look at Water Street right now, a completely different picture than when you guys just last checked in with us about 15 minutes ago. This water has quickly receded. It's only standing really right here in this ditch area because it's kind of a dipped area. That's why the water's still kind of holding right now, but you can see the road is basically clear at this point. No real standing water like there is right here. Cars have been driving through it. I will say be cautious if you are going to drive through this area. Only if you have to. Do not come out here if you don't have to. There's still a lot of debris in the road, and you can see right in front of the Renaissance Hotel what all of this storm surge has caused and brought up. So this is what this hotel is looking at now as far as cleanup goes today. They've got a lot of debris that they have to deal with in front of their hotel and up towards the walkway of their hotel. But everything out here on Water Street starting to look good because that water is finally receding, and it's receding quickly very well. When we got here this morning, it was starting up Government Street right here, and it's not there anymore. So as you can see, it's receding very quickly. Again, still monitoring this situation out here. If you do not have to be on the road, please don't, because officials are out trying to clean up the mess that Nate has left behind. Reporting in Mobile, Megan Gannon, NBC 15 News.
Megan, thank you so much. Meteorologist Kelly Foster staying by live in the Weather Center with a check of our forecast right now. And Kelly, how much rainfall has actually fallen in our area?
All right, well, Andrea, within the past 12 hours, we've had about 3 inches of rain in Mobile. But keep in mind, it's just not the water that's coming down out of the sky. It's all that water that has been shoved in from Hurricane Nate. Again, it made landfall near Biloxi, Mississippi, and now it's about 90 miles from Mobile. Mobile, but due to that counterclockwise rotation with what is now Tropical Storm Nate, we'll still get that water moving onto our shoreline. Of course, we have seen some recession as far as the water, and the winds have weakened, but as Nate continues to move away, we will see an improvement. We still have a storm surge warning, though, in effect for our area from the Mississippi-Alabama border all the way to the Okaloosa-Walton line, because we are still dealing with problems with storm surge. The rain right now, those spiraling rain bands moving in from Fort Walton Beach up through Niceville, Crestview, and also beginning to bend back towards Evergreen. This is where we have a tornado watch in effect until mid-morning, so we're still dealing with impacts from Nate at this hour. The winds are gusting at 22 Mobile, 26 for Gulf Shores. This does make driving difficult. Plus, we've got a lot of water covering the roads, especially in the downtown area. We are dealing with sustained winds at 15 for Mobile, 20 for Gulf Shores, 24 for Walton Beach, and we do have a tropical storm warning in place until further notice for our viewing area, because it's still we still have a few areas where they are dealing with tropical storm wind gusts, and that is a little bit closer to where Nate is located, again about 90 miles from Mobile. So here's a look, still a lopsided storm. That's why all those spiraling rain bands continue to impact the panhandle, but we still have that water in areas getting shoved onto our shoreline with that persistent southeast wind flow. As far as the max sustained winds with Nate, well, right now those winds have dropped to about 45 miles per hour. The speed is still there, and that's working in our favor as far as the rate that Nate is moving. So the faster he moves away, we will begin to see an improvement locally. He's going to become a remnant low as early as tomorrow morning. We're still going to have some waves of rain, though, as we head on into Monday from Nate, with just some outer impacts with a few waves rolling in, but then we will see an improvement as we head towards late Monday. Here's a look at traffic at this hour, and you can see the causeway is underwater. The causeway is shut down. The causeway looks like it's part of Mobile Bay. Also keep in mind that the Bankhead Tunnel is also closed. All of this due to Nate.
All right, thank you so much, Kelly. This year's Atlantic hurricane season is one of the 10 most active on record.
14 named storms and 9 hurricanes. Of the 9 hurricanes, 5 were major hurricanes, meaning a Category 3 or higher.
Now, Nate is a strong reminder that hurricane season continues throughout the end of November.
And since this storm has pushed through, there's a very good chance that you or your family or friends have lost power.
But there are several ways you can continue to get our coverage. You can watch streaming video of our coverage on mynbc15.com. We're also on Facebook. Some of you are watching us there right now. You can find us by going to @mynbc15.
You can also follow our continuing coverage through our iHeart radio station partners, and we invite you to download the MyNBC15 News app.
Our live coverage continues after the break.
Our team coverage continues right now. NBC15's James Gordon joins us live in Baldwin County.
And that is where residents saw a lot of heavy wind and rain, but it looks like damage was minimal. So now the cleanup begins, James.
You know, minimal throughout the county. I talked to Reggie Chitt with the EMA earlier, and he said that some roads were, water was over some of the roads throughout the county. Those things have been cleared as the water begins to recede. The shelter in Robertsdale, 111 people took advantage of that shelter. Those folks were having breakfast this morning and packing up and leaving as well. The power companies, Baldwin EMC and Riviera Utilities, spotty outages throughout the eastern shore, just south of 98 and Foley. They said not too many outages, but they're working on those crews picking things up. But here in Gulf Shores on the beach, Grant Brown with the City of Gulf Shores, the next big thing is the Shrimp Festival. What do you have to do to transform this beach and get the sand off of it to put that together?
Well, we're very fortunate that we didn't receive significant damage to the beachfront area, so that's a good thing. Now, once the wind dies down, our crews will come in and they'll start scraping the parking lot, getting the sand removed from the boardwalks and from the parking lot areas. Very quickly, then the Shrimp Festival people will come in and start erecting tents and putting in their infrastructure. We've got Shrimp Festival coming out Thursday this week.
And these beaches, for the most part, we're gonna continue seeing rip currents and really heavy surf out there all the way through Wednesday. That's the forecast.
Right. We're double red flag still posted. Do not enter the water. It's illegal to go into the water at least through the day, tomorrow potentially, and then later into the week. We're still projecting to have significant threatening rip currents all week.
All right, thank you, Grant. Again, they've dodged a bullet, like we say, and they're very lucky here, folks. Very fortunate as they wake up this morning in Gulf Shores and throughout Baldwin County that Nate didn't do the damage perhaps that people were expecting. But again, that's what this is all about, is getting the word out, heeding the warnings, because you need to be safe, and that's what we did all weekend long. And we're glad that folks did just that and stayed off the roads, because now they're waking up to a safe Sunday morning. But now we're live in Gulf Shores. James Gordon, NBC 15 News.
NBC 15 weather with meteorologist Kelly Foster.
It is 7:45. Keep in mind we did have Nate make landfall hours and hours ago, but we still are dealing with storm surge from what is now Tropical Storm Nate. It made landfall as a hurricane near Biloxi, Mississippi. Our causeway is underwater due to all that water that was shoved into Mobile Bay from Nate. So you can see right now it actually looks like it's part of the bay. We do have some drivers moving over the bayway. The bayway's open, but the causeway shut down. So is the Bankhead Tunnel. So this isn't going to be a good day to be traveling back and forth from Mobile to Baldwin County. You just want to kind of stay home, stay put, let the waters recede a little bit. We'll have improving conditions as we head on into your Monday. Still spiraling rain bands moving into the eastern zones of our viewing area. The Florida Panhandle, Okaloosa County near Crestview along I-10, blinding rain, very gusty winds from Nate, and of course a lot of that is beginning to bend back into Okaloosa County, which they're seeing a bit of an improvement. In Mobile over the past 12 hours, we've had about 3 inches of rain. Isolated areas have picked up closer to 4, close to 6 for Gulf Shores, 2.5 for the Fairhope area, 3 Pensacola, and about 6 inches for the Grove Hill area. We still have a tornado watch in effect. This is for the Florida Panhandle, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa County, parts of Escambia County, Alabama, parts of Conecuh County, all due to that feeder band from Nate. The winds right now gusting up to 36 in Evergreen, 26 for Pensacola, 32 Fort Walton Beach, Destin, 28 Gulf Shores, and right now Mobile 22. It's still hard to drive at times due to all these fast winds from Nate. They are holding steady at 15 Mobile, but steady at 20 for Gulf Shores, 26 Fort Walton. Double red flags are up. No swimming in Orange Beach today, and really area beaches dealing with dangerous rip currents. Here's a look at the warnings. We still have a tropical storm warning in effect. Even though Nate is 90 miles from us, the winds associated with this storm are far reaching. In fact, tropical storm force winds extend out about 150 miles. Very lopsided storm. All the rain and tornadic action have been on the eastern edges of Nate, and we've talked about it being about 90 miles from Mobile. It's moving at a good clip at about 23 miles per hour. It's also about 95 miles from Montgomery. It's going to weaken to a remnant low once it makes its way north of Birmingham early Monday. And it made landfall, we talked about, near Biloxi, and that's why we had all that water. We were on the worst side. East is beast. The storm surge still continuing. We have this storm surge warning from the Mississippi-Alabama line all the way to the Okaloosa-Walton County border, and that's because at times that peak surge has been up to 9 feet in areas. Still those feeder bands from Destin to Crestview at lunch, and then we're looking good the rest of the day. Monday, we're still going to have a few waves of rain coming in near Gulf Shores and Pensacola, so we are going to keep showers in the forecast. And it looks like before it's all said and done, as we head on into early Monday, we could be looking at about 4 inches of rain for Pensacola. We have a flash flood watch in effect for the eastern edges. Rough waters for the boaters. Hope nobody's boating today. The seas 10 to 13, those seas are going to be going down. Our bays will see an improvement as well as Nate pulls away. And there's your 7-day forecast. We're warming up, less rain, less cloud cover as we head into next week. So the big deal today and really even tomorrow, that storm surge, flooding conditions, slick roads, and there's going to be a lot of cleanup as well. You and I on our drive in this morning, we were looking at a lot of limbs in the road.
Branches in the
road.
Yeah,
very serious.
Yeah. So be careful. Some branches could still be weak and could still fall.
And the north parts of our viewing area are still going to have to deal with the rain today.
They are in Andrea, Evergreen, Castleberry, Conecuh County. They still have those wind gusts right now with Nate at about 36 miles per hour. So more rain and wind for the folks there. We'll see an improvement for that area later tonight.
And we'll be right back. Mobile Fire Rescue urging you to stay off the roads if you can. Our producers shot this video on their way into the TV station this morning. Pretty bleak, huh? Heavy winds and rain from Nate. Of course, have left debris covering all of our roads.
Yeah, you can see some tree limbs that line the roads. I saw that as we were driving in. Several street and traffic lights were also out. So as you make your way about this morning, just please be very careful out there.
Wow, take a look at this video from a viewer that sent us to us. Let's see, it was Jesse Riles that sent us this. You can see that Wayne and wind.
Yeah.
Get a little tired now. Winds and rain coming down hard in Gulf Shores.
We want to see how you rode out this storm, and if you spot any damage where you are, please send us your videos or pictures safely, of course.
Upload your photos and your video to our weather bubble. All you have to do is go to burst.com/mynbc15.com.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right, here's a look right now at traffic. You can see the causeway still underwater. The Bankhead Tunnel is closed. This is not going to be a good day for drivers. You know the drill. Turn around, don't drown. In fact, I would just stay home, watch a movie. Let's let these waters recede. All of that is storm surge from Nate, which, by the way, is about 90 miles from Mobile. We still have those spiraling rain bands moving into the Panhandle. Tornado watch still in place for that area till 10 p.m. We've had about 3 inches of rain over the past 12 hours from Mobile. And there's a look at that tornado watch. Okaloosa County, Santa Rosa, Conecuh County in it, and the winds are still gusting. So hold on tight to the wheel. Stronger winds near Fort Walton and Destin, gusting up to 36 and even near Evergreen.
Thank you, Kelly. Don't drive today, but if you do, some of the roads in Mobile County are closed. Codin Belt Road down in Biola Battery, Shell Belt Road down there as well, and Water Street in downtown Mobile remain impassable due to flooding.
Trees are down at McGregor Avenue near Airport, Snow Road at Autumn Leaf Drive, and in Grand Bay, trees are blocking the road where State Road 188 meets Henderson Camp Road.
And be careful on Natchez and Bayou Creek and County Road 19 in Irvington as well.
Plus the Causeway, as we've mentioned, and the Dauphin Island Causeway remain closed right now, but crews are working to get both of those reopened, and the Bankhead Tunnel at this hour still remains closed.
All right, that is our special edition of Sunday's NBC 15 today. We're usually not here on Sunday, but of course we were because of the storm.
Yeah, thank you so much for choosing to watch our coverage. Greg and Kim will be in tonight anchoring our 5 and 10 p.m. newscast. Meet the Press is coming up next. Have a great morning.